What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Movie Talks, the only place you need all your movie reviews, movie news. We are on episode 18, so we've been coming at you for 18 weeks in a row, and I know that you guys are all very excited. Hello to all our worldwide listeners, because I think we've shouted you out once or twice. I'm not going to go into trying using the language to shout you guys out, because
It's kind of cool though.
It would, but at this point in time, if I did it now, it would probably get cancelled because I'm sure it would come across overly well.
Where's our what's our country you keep saying we have? Is it Norway?
There's no way you're going to believe this.
No. I shouldn't have.
I
Why?
don't know.
You said the word Norway. I'm like, I feel like there's a shitty joke coming up.
Yeah, there is. But
is it Denmark somewhere?
Belgium, Brussels. We've got a number of listeners coming from Belgium. So I don't know. What is that? Flemish, isn't it? Isn't Flemish one of the languages in Belgium? I'm pretty sure that's one of them. Yeah,
I'm looking up Belgium.
Well, yeah,
Belgium.
That's the country. But I think Belgium has a number of languages throughout where it depends on which region you're in.
Yeah, Flemish.
Yeah, there you go. Look how cultivated I look. Normally,
you can go if you're in Flanders. You can go with hello or Gota Dag or hoi or hey or hi. So there you go.
There you go. That was
hello.
Hello.
There you go.
That just reminds me of Frozen. Been watching that a little bit. It's hello, big summer blowout.
Well, I mean, that guy's meant to be like, I don't know. Yeah. Fucking that area, I guess. Baltics. I have no idea. I don't know. I've seen it once, and that was definitely enough.
Yeah, but did you know that guy is classified as one of the Disney LGBTQ? I always get all the letters wrong, but
LGBTQIA plus.
Yeah, it's one of them that gets recognized. Which
is he? Okay.
It's a really quick. Yeah, so when it flashes to the scene with his family, it's It's the guy and all the kids. Yeah. So
as in he's in a gay relationship when he has kids. Is that?
Yeah.
Okay. Sweet. Never realized. Great. I now love Frozen. That's everything to me.
I just thought that's a nice.
It is interesting, actually. Yeah. And it's good that they haven't drawn. I hate when they do things like that, but they draw a lot of attention to it. So it's like, look at us, we're being inclusive. I like it more, and it's more subtle and subversive. So there you go.
Yeah, because I don't know, we were talking about changing characters with the whole remakes that are all coming with all the Disney classics, and then we're just saying how people need to be represented in every facet of media. Yeah, and then it got me onto a little rabbit hole because I like to research things.
It's interesting. Yep, I didn't know that.
But yeah, we've got a big show coming for you. We've got Emancipation, which is Will Smith's newest, loosely based on a true story about slavery. Who Killed Santa, which is your favorite sort of, movie / comedian.
It's my favorite anything.
Yeah, it is. And also
an interesting concept. It's a good TV show that now there's a movie.
Yep. And then Chainsaw Man, which is our catch up. We didn't get through them all, but we are going to talk about the following 3. So that's episode 4, 5, and 6. So we got heaps coming at you. But without further ado, everyone's favorite segment, which is our movie news segment. Movie news.
Yep. Oh, it's yours now, is it?
Yeah,
okay.
I did it because yours sucked.
Mine's too long, I got told.
Yeah.
I've been rehearsing all week, a shorter one. But
go again. Go again.
No. You had it.
Yeah.
Yours is perfect.
Yeah, it is. that's what. If you ever look at the name of the channel, it's I can do no wrong. So it is
Ryman TV.
It's Ryman TV.
It's your TV.
Oh, that's right. So stay tuned. But anyway, it's have you seen the newest trailer for the Barbie movie? Have you seen
no.
So the introduction to
Margot
Barbie.
Robbie?
Yeah, so Margot Robbie is playing Barbie. I got this sent to me by a work colleague, and it is the Barbie intro with a 2001 The Space Odyssey. So everything that happens in the intro to 2001 Space Odyssey has the reenactment with Barbie trailer.
What?
Yeah, so
what's the connection? That's so left field.
I know that's the whole point, but you know how like they throw the bone up in a 2001
Yeah.
Space Odyssey? Yeah, they throw
Yeah.
the doll up instead. And like as the apes are
Why?
coming in, it's like a child with a Barbie doll. It's like it's actually really cool how they've done it.
I'm
Like
sure it's cool, but that's it. There's no connection. They've just picked a random movie.
yeah.
Okay, sure.
Well, you
I
got
mean, if
me.
Tarantino can borrow ideas, why can't Barbie?
Yeah, it got me excited for it. I was like, that's actually really cool. And then the one that I saw actually had the Barbie trailer and then also the 2001 Space Odyssey original. So I had them like layered on top and I really liked it.
Sure.
Are you going to watch it now?
I'm looking it up, but oh yeah, here's a side by side comparison.
Yeah.
Why
So
though?
because it brings publicity. It's like the guy from National Tiles, like you're gonna remember it. You can either go down like a comical side or get people really hyped like Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Like that trailer was amazing. Or you can do this where it's generating publicity in terms of people talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did they have they done more of these sort of
No,
side by side comparison movie homages?
no. This is essentially this is the first one that comes to mind in terms of what I can think about.
It's very Deadpool. Like
Yeah.
it feels like that sort of fourth wall joke, you know?
I think they kind of need to go down that route though. What are they gonna if they did a serious Barbie, I probably wouldn't be overly keen. But if they're gonna be poking fun at a lot of the stuff that Barbie is sort of doing, then I don't know. I'd want it to be enjoyable. Like my daughter's gonna probably get real excited about a Barbie movie. She watches the Barbie Netflix show, like the animation, which is
What's the audience like? Is it being presented as a family movie?
I'm not
Is it
entirely
being
sure on
presented?
that point. I think it's meant to be like, I guess, uh,
Kind of has to be, I guess.
yeah,
Because I mean, that's going to be your audience, right?
that'd be your target in terms of where the model and the name is. Yeah,
PG-13 comedy film's plot can be summarized as a journey of self-discovery. Barbie is kicked out of Barbie Land for being unconventional and breaking the rules of what a doll is supposed to look or act like. Okay, so it's very like woke.
yeah.
It's very politically correct by the sounds of it.
It has to be a bit of tongue in cheek. Hopefully,
Barbie isn't. Yeah, okay. Because they need to sort of redeem Barbie a bit because she's super outdated now. The ideas,
well,
the
yeah,
conventions of, yeah.
they've definitely rehauled all the toys. Like all the toys are now super inclusive. Like they've got wheelchair Barbie and like all sorts. Like
Mm-hmm.
Barbie's not your standard, I
Mm-hmm.
guess, doll figure that they used to run. Which
There's
is
even an Asian Ken.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I
Will
guess
Ferrell's in it. All right. So
uh,
it's taking itself pretty silly.
I hope
All
so.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, you're right. It needs to. It needs to be ridiculous.
yeah.
Interesting. They've got Emma Mackey and Margot Robbie because Emma Mackey's the girl from like the main sort of tomboy girl from Sex Education. And she
Okay,
looks so much like Margot Robbie as it is. I bet they are playing the same character at different ages, something like that.
probably.
Mm.
Very nice.
Okay, sure. I'm more intrigued than I thought I would be.
Okay, yeah.
So I'll stay interested.
And then we've also got Scream 6 teaser.
Oh,
So do you like the Scream franchise?
I liked the original couple when I was a sort of teenager,
Did you pick up
adolescence.
did you pick up when you first watched Scream 1 that it gives you the killers within the first like 30 seconds?
Not upon first viewing, but yeah.
Yeah. So that they
Same how like Scary Movie makes the same jokes, of course.
well, in terms of how they wear the boots. So the two killers in the first Scream and the intro, like you see them wearing the killer's boots. And that's like your telltale sign right at the start. I find that so
But
interesting.
only once you learn that information.
Yeah, I know.
Like I think it's actually fed well.
But that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But anyway.
To the rest, because I haven't seen any. I think I've seen the first two, maybe the first three. Have you watched more?
Yeah, I've seen them all. The
They
newest
stay
ones,
interesting.
So 5 gives you enough, like, I guess, homage to the callbacks, where Sydney obviously comes back, and you've got that sort of like connection in terms of, I guess, Ghostface, the killer. Like, there's enough there. It's not as revolutionary as it once was. Obviously, watching as a kid, the Scream movies did give me a bit more of a fright than they do, like,
of course,
as you get older. So you sort of lose that. Like, I haven't had a horror movie actually scare me for years. I think the last one was like Paranormal Activity, but that's because of my unrational fear of ghosts.
Yeah. Can't punch them.
No, you can't. You can't fight ghosts. I don't know how.
Fight ghosts. Can't punch them.
No, at least everything else you got a fighting chance. So this, anyway, back to the trailer. It actually has Ghostface riding on the train. So
like
he's
subway. I'm looking at it now.
Riding the train in Manhattan. So
supposedly it's a new look. Has revealed the first look at the new Ghostface mask. It looks exactly the same. I'm sure that if you're a massive fan and you're like, frothed over these movies, you probably see the difference, but to me it looks the same.
Yeah, maybe a bit more droopier eyes or something.
Maybe
a bit more dehydrated. I don't know.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I'm not interested, but good on them for making another one.
I mean, I'd probably watch it. And also, did I tell you this last week? I can't remember. It's been a while. But the new Spider-Man Across the Spideyverse, so the new animated Spider-Man film, is having 7 different art styles. So, like, they've got 7 different cool producers all coming in just
animators,
to work with with those different styles, where I'm hoping it's not like a mess. Like, considering how good the first one was, I'm hoping they're not going too far out of their zone to be able to like pull the cohesive story.
Yeah. I don't know. I think art styles are really, like, I've seen plenty of YouTube videos where or even some shows like Amazing World of Gumball and stuff. Like, there's, I think, opportunity for a lot of variation when you do different art styles and have different animators and stuff to do things. I think that's a really cool idea because that's a perfect story for it. Being able to jump between universes, like when is there an actual lore reason to have different animation? That's cool as hell.
Sick. Oh no, I'm just concerned that 7 is a lot. Like,
but not an hour and a half. I'm sure it'll be centered in one.
I don't know. We'll see. But I thought that was interesting to see how they pull that across.
Also, when's that come out?
Not for a little while. I think it's getting close, but it's not quite ready. So
well, even Barbie's not until mid next year.
Yeah, especially now. You won't get much now. It'll be next year.
New Spider-Verse is June next year. So a similar time to Barbie.
Yep. Yeah.
Sure.
So, interesting. Anyway,
they're releasing. Sorry, I'm just looking up. There's a Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse comes out June 2nd, 2023, and then there's a Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 2 coming out March 29th. So they're doing a Part 1 and a Part 2. Pretty close to each other. Well, like 10 months from each other.
Yeah, they're creating them at the same time.
Sure. Yeah.
It's kind of like how Avatar did their they filmed both.
True. Very true.
I mean, what is it? 10 years in between? 10 years or something around?
Yeah, last one was 2009. So it's been 13 years. Yeah.
Yeah, I've
heard
it hasn't been getting great reviews because I guess all the technology's kept up. So we'll see. That'll be hopefully next week.
I think what made the first one so magic, you won't get that back in the second one. The fact that it was such a massive blockbuster, the fact that it was one of the first well done 3D films, sort of gave birth to the 3D era of the late 2000s.
But how did 3D die? Like, every movie was offered in 3D and you're like paying extra for the glasses. People buying 3D TVs. Now you don't even see like 3D anywhere.
Because it's uncomfortable, not that good. Like, people, I hate it from the beginning. From the beginning, I didn't want to go to watch a 3D movie. I tried to find cinemas that didn't do it. A lot of movies only came out in 3D. it's uncomfortable sitting there with a pair of glasses on your head that aren't fit for the frame of your head. Some shitty plastic glasses, sometimes in a hot cinema, is uncomfortable, and you can't take them off and just sit there and watch it without. And it's not that beneficial. Like, the movie doesn't look that much better. I'd rather just watch a 4K film.
Yeah.
I never like 3D.
Nah, even like sitting at home. Why would I want to wear random glasses just to watch a movie? It's so annoying.
Glasses that need to be recharged as well. Who the fuck recharges their 3D glasses at home? I think I've owned a couple of 3D TVs and still have the glasses sitting in their boxes.
Yeah, right.
No. Yeah. Waste.
Anyway, yeah. Let's move on to our Emancipation.
Do it.
All right. So this is Will Smith's newest film, and it is about a runaway slave forges through the swamps of Louisiana on a torturous journey to escape plantation owners that nearly killed him. So what I wasn't expecting in this film, like I was expecting a slave film where it has the treacherous runaway sort of standard.
Yep.
Where I wasn't expecting this random black and white grey filter. So
yeah, it was weird.
It was really odd in terms of how it was shot. Like, I got to say, the cinematography, absolutely great.
Incredible.
Like, fantastic with it. But it was this weird grey. It wasn't even black and white. It was like a grey filter on it where it
was like desaturated.
Yeah, it made things look really odd in certain moments. Like when there's a fire burning, it didn't look like the fire was real. It looked like it was laid on top in post.
Yeah.
Like it's just that whole filter threw me from what I wanted this film to sort of be able to capture across. But I
agree. My first thing I literally wrote was desaturation is weird. I probably would have preferred it to be either some more color so I can see the environment better. Because I mean, there's a reason that we watch things in color now. You can see more. Or go completely black and white and then film around that constraint like Addams Family did. There are ways to do one or the other. And I think
like doing Schindler's List. Schindler's List does the black and white, and then obviously the symbols, the color. You have that here and there. Yeah. So
really quick mention of the cinematography. Robert Richardson is the cinematographer for this, and he's done like heaps of Tarantino films like Kill Bill and Inglourious Bastards, and he's done like World War Z and Django, and like he's done heaps. He's known for good cinematography, so he was the right person for the job for sure.
Yeah, well, he lived up to his name. It was beautiful
because it was the best part.
Oh yeah.
By far.
So this was weird in terms of how they told the story. I wasn't sure if what they were going for, because it seemed like there was three kind of storylines going on. Like you've got the obviously your slavery storyline that you're going, and then you've got like the impacts that obviously that all has, because it's loosely based on the story that I guess got rid of slavery in America. Yeah,
the emancipation of American slaves. Yeah.
And then it's because that's where the picture comes in, and then you've got like I guess this justice action kind of thriller where you're chasing like the chase, the hunt, or whatever you want to call it, of like the man running away. And then you've got this random end to it where it's like a war film,
a war movie.
Like it was odd with its storytelling. I just couldn't wrap my brain around what it wanted to be, which really lets it down.
Totally. I think because this film is, like you said, it's loosely based on, and it's very loosely based on. It's based on this photograph that was taken in 1863 of a guy known as Whipped Peter, who's supposedly his name was actually Gordon. And that image made it all around America, especially up to the north, to sort of show the rest of America what was happening down south and to help the emancipation. Lincoln's Law. But why then was the movie, so much of it was other things that had nothing to do with the Whipped Peter story? Like I would have almost preferred a Django Unchained story, not to the extreme of him like bounty hunting and things like that, but a grittier movie about slavery, and then him actually getting free, and sure, if he did fight in some civil war, then have that little scene in there, which was shot well, but I can't connect with American Civil War. It's dumb. and it glorifies military and all that stuff as well. And I hate that part, the whole thing about America. But anyway, um, then they could have had scenes about afterwards. And I think a huge part of what I missed at the end of this movie is I would have preferred take out the war scene because that's unimportant for the character's growth. And throw in a denouement where we see all the characters, we see the world after, or we see America after the emancipation. We see the characters living out the days, and we see the impact of that photo traveling around America, and we could see the impact that Whipped Peter has had on American audiences. But instead, we just go back to him being with his family. Like they had opportunity to make this a grander story, and that's really what the story of Whipped Peter is about. But instead, they try and keep it grounded, which to me was a lost cause. Yeah, I had problems.
Yeah, my main problem was it was just he kept jumping in terms of what sort of thing it wanted it to be. Yeah, obviously when he was first taken away from his family and was put into like getting dragged away from your family, like I felt sorry for him. Like I thought Will Smith's performance was actually really good. But he does kind of play Will Smith in the film. Like he
does.
I thought he
felt like a superhero.
I still thought he did quite a good job as the character though.
Yeah, like, I've written a few times in my notes that I don't think he's the right cast. I just think that a huge celebrity A-list star who is one of the most paid actors in Hollywood and who does all this for the wrong reasons. It's money, it's attention. Having him play one of the most pivotal and recognizable images in slave history, I don't think it's the right call. I think he felt invincible in the story. I never felt like he was in any danger. He felt like a superhero, like Black Superman, and that takes away so much of what this character is and was.
So do you think they're trying to make it more dramatic? Like there was that whole scene where he was in the swamp and then he was like fighting an alligator or a crocodile.
Right.
I forget which one it is, but he's like essentially he got death rolled as well. So he got grabbed, death rolled. That normally would rip all your limbs off.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that's what it's there for.
He stopped the crocodile or alligator. I don't know what one it is. Yeah, with just a branch in like his jaw, and then was able to stab it in the head and escape.
Yeah. And I was thinking, okay, maybe this is part of the real story, and that this guy actually did fight an alligator, and that makes it really cool. But supposedly, all that stuff is sort of fabricated. The whole, even him escaping and having a wife and all of that, there isn't much really known about Whipped Peter. Yeah, you're right. It's fucking weird, and I didn't like it. I feel like this is sort of movie that you meant to like because it's some really heavy themes, and it had a weird Christian message as well.
Oh, with the just believe in God and you'll survive. Like there was the whole scene where he went back to the plantation and he gave him the cross, and I guess that was just it was. I believe they were just trying to get like a message of hope across. Like they continually had the hope rather than, I don't know. I don't know a lot of American sort of history besides the parts that we get fed in like cinema.
Yeah, it's true.
So I don't know if, I don't know, what was it, Christianity or whatever was massive for it was,
especially because he's Haitian. He was born in Haiti. He has the Haitian Creole accent, like the French accent.
Yeah.
It's a massive part, and I understand that. But the movie felt like it was hammering in those messages. Like you can have a religious character, and you can have a religious character, and his motivations be, I'm doing this for the Lord, or my Lord keep me safe, or whatever. He's my shepherd, blah blah blah. Like that's fine. But there were moments where some characters were looked down on for not believing in God anymore. There's that guy in the cage who was like, "There's no God here," and the way they painted him in that image was like, "Oh, he's lost hope. He's now a bad guy because he doesn't believe in God and stuff anymore." Like, and Will Smith's Will Smith's faith will keep him protected, and it felt there was to me a weird, maybe because I'm really anti-religion, but it felt like there was a weird religious message there, and I didn't like it.
Okay. Yeah, my main issue was the whole chase scenes. Like the rest of it, I was kind of okay, but it went for a long time. It was like, he was just running, and how he knew all these little different bits and pieces of like how to lose a scent with a dog, how to do this, and then he was able to pick it. Yeah, and even when he went into his war like film, I guess the war section, he knew exactly how to shoot. Like there was no build up in terms of how he knew how to use a gun. How did he have such a good aim? Like I can't imagine those guns were overly accurate, but everyone's able to hit the mark in terms of what they were
when
aiming
it's necessary for the plot. Yeah,
like I don't know,
for sure.
You got stormtroopers who can't hit anything, and they're meant to be the most elite people in the galaxy. Yeah, you've got,
and then you get guys with fucking bayoneted long rifles and muskets in the late 1800s, and they're god aim. Yeah, I know. And that whole scene felt really like glorified and silly. How they all just started yelling and sprinting, and then they won, even though they were getting hammered with cannons. I wanted him to die at that point. I thought that was going to be because he had served his purpose. Sort of, he has a photo of him. That photo is now making the media whatever. I thought that because his wife put her hand in the milling machine or whatever it was, that she had solved their problem and that the family will stay together even without him. And I thought, okay, if he dies here, that's sort of a deserving ending, and I won't feel like he's invincible. But he Supermaned it. He came out at the end totally fine. He's uninjured completely. He's back with his family. It just felt a little for such a tough and grueling story. It's too much of a perfect ending. Way too much.
Yeah, which
for one man.
Yeah, it's an okay movie, but the cinematography is incredible. Like it's very pretty to watch.
Absolutely.
The story just unfortunately falls short just due to the mixture of, I guess, genres that it was trying to be.
Yeah, and the writing's bad. Even the scenes where characters were talking to each other, they were boring as hell. The writing credit is I had it up before. Hold on, Bill Collage. His history is shit. Like Transporter, Assassin's Creed, Accepted, like that comedy movie Accepted. Like,
oh yeah,
he came from all those to writing a Black history slavery film. Why is he the writing credit here? I don't understand why he was hired.
Yeah, it's an odd choice. Did you ever watch Assassin's Creed?
No, God no.
Well, I attempted to. It was
exactly.
It was not good.
I had intentions to, and then the more I heard about it, the more I saw about it, the more I didn't want to.
Yeah, that's a good call. Yeah. What would you give it?
It's a 2, maybe 2.5. I think the cinematography and some of the sound is really nice. Like it's made well. I didn't agree with the editing. I didn't agree with the writing. I hated the casting. Well, only really Will Smith. For a movie that could have had a lot of weight, and this was made to be award bait. And funnily enough, it's already been. It didn't get a single nomination at the Golden Globes because Will Smith's been cancelled. It's a huge letdown. I was actually excited to be proven wrong and to like this movie, even though I had Will Smith, who I hate. But it was bad, and the only redeeming qualities were the cinematography, and maybe that's a 2.
Okay, yeah. It's a bit of a hard one because it's like it's an okay movie. Like I didn't overly hate it. I thought the obviously the grey Saturtone sort of like filter was weird choice, but there were moments where I was like, yeah, I'm pretty engaged in the film. I thought the whole thing was reasonably interesting in terms of the story that they picked. Like, obviously, the whipped Pete or whatever you said his name was. Like,
yeah, whipped Peter. Yep.
Yeah, like that was all pretty interesting to see because
Yeah.
I don't know a lot of the American history, and I quite sort of felt sorry for him to begin with. The whole
Hmm.
chase scene I didn't like. It was just went on for too long, and he just seemed
Yeah.
like just he knew too much to be able to escape. I
Yes.
wanted a little bit more like drama for him to actually feel like he's in trouble. Like
Exactly.
he single-handedly beat up an alligator. Like
Yeah.
what is happening here?
It came
But
out completely unscathed. Like, if he lost an arm in that scene, great.
yeah,
You know, the fact that he came out totally fine, yeah, it's silly.
I feel
The
like
biggest plot armor.
they just need to leave that because obviously if they're basing him off of the picture, he does have two hands or two
Hmm.
arms, so I guess you
Hmm.
can't lose it. But like I would have liked, like you said, a bit more in terms of what was the ramifications and how did people deal with like seeing the picture and like I know they tried to go the
Yeah.
dramatic side of like really hooking you into the emotional connection of like him almost losing his family and like not seeing
Hmm.
his family, and they drew out that final scene where everyone came back and they were like,
Yeah, the
"Where's my
typical.
family?" But
Yeah.
and then they found them all. Where I don't know, like, would I recommend it? I don't think it deserves a 3, but it was like if someone said I'm going to watch it, I'm like, yeah, it's okay. Like
Yeah.
I don't know, like a 2.5, I guess. It's not at
Sure.
that point where I'd be like, hey, check this movie out. It'd be like, I'm going to watch
Exactly.
this. Yeah, it's okay. So I can't
Hmm.
give it that 3, or it's a bit of a hard, I don't know, 2.5, I think.
Yeah. Whereas if I was asked, hey, I'm gonna watch this, I'd say don't even bother. Like, I wouldn't even point him. I would even say there's redeeming qualities. It's worth it for these reasons.
Okay.
Because even like I said, cinematography is really good, but I don't think it's enough to redeem it. Go watch the first couple episodes of Rings of Power. You know, it's got better cinematography, and you're gonna enjoy it probably more than this.
So just show them that
There was
highlight reel of
Yeah,
the
right. But
horses.
hey, it's still very pretty. There was an actual slow mo shot in the war scene of him firing a gun with the American flag waving behind him. Is fucking gross. That to me is like that just sort of solidifies everything I had about this movie. It's bad. That's so silly. That's such a like an American way of thinking. Like that. Oh, how cool is this shot going to be when he's going to be like a black man in 1800s shooting a gun with the American flag behind him? Oh, so powerful. Like, nah, nah.
uh,
Yeah, don't bother.
all right, cool. Yeah, don't do that one.
Personal opinion.
All right, let's move on to something a little bit more light-hearted. And
Very
seeing
much
that
so.
this is your favorite show, you can introduce this one.
It's a good show. So, I'll quickly introduce the premise of the whole show first. There's a TV show already out called Murderville, and it's if you don't already know him, Will Arnett, he's just a very funny man in general. He and everyone involved in the show has a script or more or less a direction for each scene, and then the gimmick of each episode is they get in a celebrity, normally a comedian, but there's also an episode where they have in like a American football star and that sort of stuff. Bring in a celebrity, and that celebrity has no script. They just come on in. They have to pretend to be a sort of a new recruit, a new detective, and they got to help solve this crime. And at the end of the show, each episode, they have to guess who they think did the crime, and they find out if they're right or not. There's no like prize or anything, but it's a fun little game to play because as we're watching, because I watch it with my partner, as we're watching, we're sort of guessing as well and trying to pick up the clues. So it's quite a little fun family game as well, I guess. But so this Christmas movie version, which is only about 55 minutes long, synopsis is our detective is back with a critical case. Along with two celebrity guests, he's on a mission to solve who killed Santa. But the catch, Jason Bateman and Maya Rudolph aren't given the script. They have no clue what's about to happen, as I said. So in this version, they're at like a Christmas party or something, and Santa dies. The person who's playing Santa, who is Sean Hayes, or in this they call him Johnny Blaze.
They were doing the
Um,
security of it though.
yeah, they were like meant to be security, and then Jason Bateman had to be in an elf outfit for some
Yeah,
reason, just because it's
he was
funny.
the trainee.
Yeah, and he had to like be the entertainer because all the elves didn't show up or something. They just wanted to put him in an elf suit, which was funny. And so yeah, Santa dies, and they're on the case, and they got to try and figure out who it is. Somebody here is a murderer. If we don't figure it out by sunrise, then all these orphans don't get their presents. So there's like a little time thing on it too. I mean, the show is meant to be really hammy and silly and campy. Even Will Arnett is like, the way he plays Terry Seattle is such an epitome of like every detective sort of cliche wrapped into one character. He's fantastic. So yeah, that's my introduction, I guess. Do you want to sort of go into what you thought about it? Because obviously I really liked it, but I've got history with this show.
Right.
Jump in.
I struggled a lot with this show.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Like I can see if you get comedians that you like and like lots of them have really good chemistry, then it would be really good. But I don't like Jason Bateman much at all.
Oh, okay.
I don't think he's funny. Like I find him quite boring, to be honest. Like there were some moments that made me laugh, like where he had to lick milk out of a saucepan.
Yeah, like a cat bowl. Yeah.
And there was like I can almost count how many times I laughed at his like actual comic delivery, and it was like probably only about 5. Like there was one where he had,
though.
I don't find him funny. Like I didn't even didn't find the chemistry between obviously him and like the detective like interesting at all. Like I wanted the detective to stitch him up more and like have those funny moments where they just go sort of really out there in terms of like the CPR. Like that was really, really funny where he was like give Santa CPR. Like that was great. But
how much Sean Hayes could not hold character at all. He's meant to be a dead Santa and he's just pissing himself laughing on the ground.
Like those moments were funny where there wasn't enough of those like putting the comedian into situations. It was kind of like, here's a line, what are you going to respond? And Jason Bateman was he was boring. And that's his general characters are boring. Like
he's dry, but have you ever watched Arrested Development?
Yeah, and I hate his character on there. I don't like him. Where I think the other people in Arrested Development actually are more interesting. Like the Never Nude, like the bald guy on that. Like he's really funny. Even the son, I find the son, even though I don't know, I have issues with him, but he's more interesting and he's more the
actor.
Yeah, he's Sarah. Yeah, he's funnier than I just don't like Jason Bateman's delivery of like pretty much any character. So it's probably not a great introduction into the show where there were moments where I laughed, but there weren't enough where I was like, this is actually really interesting. So
did you like the introduction of Maya Rudolph then? Because if you found Jason Bateman sort of subdued and drier, Maya Rudolph is quite the opposite. She's quite over the top and very silly with her comedy.
Yeah, I liked her way more. Like she actually looked like she was having fun in the role. Like it looked like she was having fun. And there was that when they were trying to investigate the lady, the blonde girl who's in heaps of stuff. I can't remember.
Oh, Eliza Koo. Yeah,
and they had to pretend that they were
like Fakasha.
Like there was those moments where she was more entertaining, and I feel like if you had those more over the top kind of characters or those comedians, it would actually be a really chaotic, fun sort of show. Where Jason Bateman, I just don't think fits the bill in terms of his delivery for one of these shows.
Okay. Yeah, at watching the series, I would say there are better people on it than Jason Bateman as well. I didn't find him boring, but there are people like the Conan O'Brien episode. If you ever want to go back and watch one or two good ones, Conan O'Brien on it he just steers into the chaos so well. Whereas Jason Bateman's, maybe his comedy isn't the right fit for a show like this. I think they brought him on because of he and Will Arnett's history and chemistry. Sort of an easy fit working on a long-running TV show like Arrested Development. But yeah, I can see what you mean. Maybe he wasn't like the perfect choice. Whereas like as soon as Maya Rudolph came in, the show was cranked up a bit and got a bit more chaotic.
Yeah, like if I wasn't reviewing it and I just was watching that to get a taste for the show, I would have turned it off. I would have turned it off in the first 5 minutes because God, he was boring. Like
Okay.
it felt like Will was really attempting to carry it, and like the whole headset, like the gag of the noise cancelling headset, where he was like trying to steal it from the orphans and stuff.
Yeah.
Quite funny. And like
Yeah.
I like those ongoing jokes, but Jason was just kind of standing there going, "Cool, like what do I do?" Like he just seemed like a fish out of water.
Didn't ham it up enough.
No,
Okay.
it just felt like he didn't do anything. But when obviously, what was their name, Maya Rudolph came on, and it just got really chaotic in terms of them trying to explain how the Santa died. Where she's
trying to explain to her, and her just laughing the whole time.
Yeah.
And even, what are your thoughts on adding Pete Davidson at the end? Literally at the end, after they've done all the detective work, they just throw in Pete Davidson. Do you know Pete Davidson at all?
Yeah. I haven't really seen any stuff. Obviously, Pete Davidson's been making the news a lot recently with his whole relationship sort of
Kanye stuff,
hopping.
whatever.
Yeah. So I don't really know much of his like comic stuff or like his acting, but like he's
on SNL a lot.
Yeah, so he was interesting in terms of bringing him on. Like he seemed to be having fun, even though it was like that really short sort of introduction. Like it was okay.
Just thrown into it.
It seemed weird.
He's laughing the whole time.
Yeah, it just seemed weird to add him in right at the end, but it's like if you want to have a headline, then like sure, he's a trending name. So
it really was. I really liked how, because Pete Davidson and Maya Rudolph have worked a lot together on SNL. I really liked how as soon as he walked in, they just focused the camera straight on her, and she like rolled her eyes, had a little giggle, like, he's here too. Like I liked that, and that's probably a good thing in a show like this, how they do bring on characters that already have some chemistry and they already know each other a little bit, or actors, I guess. And even the way they played with Sean Hayes and the guy who played Jim Trentley, Kurt Branola, whatever his name is, they know each other, and that was part of the comedy, and I think it's fucking hilarious. I was also the first time in this show that the ending was like that, where when they had to pick, and I mean, spoiler territory, I guess, if you care, but who does really? At the end, they have to give their gift or their present who they're holding, which they do in every episode. They have to give that something, whatever it is, but they have to give it to who they think committed the crime. And there's 3 suspects and there's 3 detectives. They give it to, the first person gives it to the mayor. The next person gives it to Will Arnett's like detective. Is that right?
Yeah.
And then the third person gave it to, who else was, there was another random there or something. But yeah, the point is they didn't give it to any of the suspects, and just goes totally chaotic and left field. And I think the characters did so well. The actors who were there on script did so well in like reacting. And the mayor was like, "How dare you?" Like, I think that end was really fitting and very chaotic, but I had a good time with it. Yeah, I'm sorry you didn't have a good time. I implore you though to go watch at least the Conan O'Brien episode. And at the beginning there was that black guy that came in to give him something. Marshawn Lynch. He is in one of the episodes, and he's also very funny, even though he's not a comedian.
Yeah, he just randomly came in for no reason. It was like,
yeah, and that was a cameo. If you haven't seen the show, that's just a random cameo. But his episode's fucking hilarious because he isn't an entertainer. He's not a comedian, and him being thrown in was the most fish out of water, hilarious moments. I'd recommend that, and I recommend the Conan O'Brien episode. But you're right. Out of the entire series, if I was like putting them in order, I'd watch this probably 3rd or 4th. Or maybe even 4th or 5th, because there are better ones.
Yeah,
but I still had a good time. I still liked it more than Emancipation.
Yeah, well, I can see how the show has its appeal. I just Jason Bateman. I can't.
Not the greatest intro for you.
No.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll go give it a look. Definitely.
You get time.
So I'm assuming you really enjoyed this episode. What would you give it?
I'm only giving it a 3.5 because I think for what it is, there are better pieces of media out there that are worth watching over this. But this is like an hour well spent, I'd say. If someone said, "I've got an hour, what's something funny I can throw on?" Actually, I'd probably recommend 2 episodes of the show over this, but that's because those episodes are like a 4. It's still pretty good. 3.5. I had a pretty good time with it. There were definitely moments where I was waiting for the next gag. But I think, for a 50-minute, hour-long, whatever it was, little piece of comedy, I started a fun time, and I probably will watch it again.
52 minutes was the episode.
52. Yeah. That's like perfect. It's like 2 episodes.
Yeah. Just based off of this episode was like a 2 for me. Like, there was some laughable moments, but the whole, as I said before, Jason Bateman, I can't get around it. It was dry for like 25 minutes. I was like, this is a hard watch.
Okay.
To the point where I'm like, I'm ready to turn this off. I went in, I put my phone on charge, I took it away from me, and I'm sitting there going, yep.
Yeah. Okay.
This is hard.
Okay. Oh, well.
But
yeah, maybe it is one of those things you have to have some history with it to appreciate it.
No, I think it's basically got to be if you like the comedian that's in there. I reckon that's what's going to be the seller. So if you like that person's style of comedy, I feel like you're probably going to have a great time with it. And I can see how the show would be quite fun. Where Maya Rudolph, like, I enjoyed her comedy delivery, and I was like, this is much better once she was on. Where if you put, I don't know, a different comedian in there, like if you put who's the comedian? I don't know, Frenchie, full of Australians.
Sure.
like that would just be chaos. Like, you just or like Carl Barron or someone like that, in terms of you like their sort of comedy, then you're gonna have a great time.
Fair enough, yeah. And I think sorry, go on.
Just this episode with Bateman, I just can't get over it.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. I can understand that.
Yeah. I'll definitely give the Conan one a look.
Yeah, definitely the Conan, and the Marshawn Lynch one's pretty funny as well. Okay. Actually, as not a comedian, he does a great job. Like, he steers into it well.
All right. Yeah. Let's all right, we'll give it a crack.
Yeah.
You got anything else on it?
Nah, not much more to say.
All right. Cool. We are moving on to Chainsaw Man. So, as you would have known, if you tuned into our earlier episodes, we did the first 3 episodes of the Chainsaw Man. Essentially, Denji is down on his luck. He's an orphan, and he's pretty much just scrounging a living in terms of having to pay these people back. He unfortunately meets a little bit of an end in terms of he has to make a pact with a dog chainsaw devil, and essentially that becomes his heart, and he then gets the ability to pull the cord that's in his chest to become a human chainsaw, which the chainsaws come out of his hands, out of his head, etc.
Yeah.
So he hunts devils. His whole motive, for those people that haven't seen it or listened to the other episode, is he really just wants to fill some boobies.
Yep.
He's unfortunately never had that interaction with some boobies before, so that's his whole demeanor. Where he, at the end of episode 3, he teams up with a fiend and becomes part of the Devil Hunting Society, and she needs his help to find her cat Meow, or whatever she calls it. Yeah,
pretty sure.
Find her cat, and she promises him the chance to fill her boobs. And
that's all he cares about at that point. Yeah.
Yep. And his interaction in terms of his motives, I find absolutely hilarious, because I think later on it gets revealed that he's 16, and at 16, that's for majority of males going through that time period. If you're offered to fill some boobs, like, and
he's lived a very isolated life. Like, he, isn't part of big social circles where he gets to interact with lots of women and all that sort of stuff. Like he's been very isolated and down on his luck. So, even more so than other 16-year-old men or boys, he doesn't have the opportunities to even date and things like that. So he's like obsessed.
Yep. So I think they do a great job of getting that across. But this is picking up after the Bat Devil got absolutely obliterated, and there's guts and entrails everywhere. And when he's talking to Power, the Fiend, I love how the introduction of the new devil, and the line was shit on this.
Yeah.
Where all of a sudden his hand gets chopped off, and he's like, shit on a stick. Like there's just absolutely over the top. They've dialed things pretty much to 11. And with the next episodes, I like how it's not just a devil of the week kind of show, in terms of you're not getting a monster where he has to like get some power up or develop some new skill. And I like how his powers, or like they're just based around how raw. Like you can see that in the fights that he has. Like his movements aren't polished. They're not. He's no trained ninja or all of a sudden some martial arts expert. You can see his movements are like, I'm just going to swing wildly and rip and tear. Like that's what I like.
Very fitting.
And I like how his powers are actually limited or like affected by how much blood he has. So he's not like super over the powered in terms of he lost an arm. He's already fought the Bat Devil, and he's trying to fight this next sort of random
Leech Devil. It was.
Yeah, it's interesting design, but it's like he's trying to fight this thing and
nipples.
Yeah, and his chainsaw has only like just come out in terms of
little chode.
Yeah, like he's lost a lot of blood. So I like how he doesn't seem overpowered.
Yes,
at this
he has his weaknesses, his kryptonite for sure. He can't like sustain that because as he mentioned, I think episode 2 or 3, how it can't be sustained because he just loses so much blood in the process. And I guess it makes sense being his heart. He obviously needs blood for it to work, sort of thing. I like that. You're right, because it means that he's not just all powerful One Punch Man can tear up. And that was sort of one of my fears initially, was that he was just going to be too powerful. But I don't feel like that anymore. Definitely.
Yeah, I was concerned it would kind of be like Naruto as well, in terms of how he's got the nine-tailed fox in him, and all of a sudden when
he's going to unleash the beast.
Yeah, things are too overwhelming, he'll do the standard sort of shoujin anime where they just get this massive power boost where they unleash whatever hidden demon is inside of them. Where we haven't seen any of that yet, besides like him being able to pull the cord and activate his demon powers. Where I haven't read ahead. I generally like to read ahead, so I kind of know what's going on, but I haven't, so I don't know if he gets any like power boosts or anything from there. I'm sure
I feel like that a little bit with Aki, and how he has this in episode 6. Jump forward a little bit. He has a sword that he carries around with him, and he was saying with his partner that if he, who is Himino, if he uses this sword or something, it shortens his lifespan. And I sort of feel like that is going to be their get out of jail free card at times. But if it's got such a massive drawback and there's a bit of moral conflict or whether he should use it or not, then yeah, sure, I'm on board.
Yeah, I've watched to the end of episode 7, I think. So I think I'm on episode 8. So I like, without going into anything, how they do explain that there is a massive risk with making those contracts with devils. Like when was it Haki or whatever his name was, the guy that
Haki's guy with the sword.
Yeah, so
Haki knows the girl with the eye patch.
Has the dog or the fox demon where he like lines it up.
Aki.
Yeah, Aki. So every time he uses it or makes like to use that contract, he has to give it something.
Yeah.
So I kind of like, you got like that trade-off depending on how much you need to sort of give. Did you see, what was their name? the girl with the eye patch. It was
Himeno. Yeah, she gave her eye to make a contract with the Ghost Devil.
Yeah, like
which is cool.
Pretty significant. I like that power. That power is kind of cool.
Yeah,
I like how they're spending time with the characters as well.
Yes,
so
definitely.
Obviously there is Denji's being manipulated massively by the
Miss Makima.
Yeah, so Makima is absolutely manipulating it. Like,
I love it.
She's such a master craftsman in terms of how she's getting him to do it. There's this whole thing about the gun devil, and he needs to go sort out the gun devil, and she will fulfill any wish of his.
Yep. And he's like, even set, and she's like, anything.
Yep. So I like the motives, even though they're like simple motives for the character. Like, he's consistent, and that's why I like.
Yes.
And you have those believable sort of. It's not just I want to be the best that there ever was. Like, it's kind of refreshing to see that the motives are suiting the character in terms of
definitely
what he wants.
I really like how they're adding layers to these characters as the show continues. Initially, Denji's goal was just to live a normal life. That's all he wanted. Then he got his super toast, which was just toast with a whole bunch of toppings.
Right.
And he had a bagel and stuff, and he's living a normal life. He's living in an apartment. And then his motivation became, I want to touch boobs. And when he got that, because in episode 4, he made a deal with Power that if he saves the kitten, then he gets to touch boob. He gets three touches. And she, gives him those touches or whatever. And there's a whole weird scene about, like, she makes it. It's sort of a strange scene. Yeah, it is.
It's so awkward.
Yeah, but I really like how after that moment, he's like, it wasn't that special. There was something missing. Like, it was just skin sort of mentality. And then when he's manipulated by Miss Makima, she talks to him about how it's about, if you know the person, if you have a connection with the person, there's a lot more there and stuff. So we're seeing his character develop just from want to touch boob to want to be in a relationship. And I really like that he's developing, and he's becoming, as he becomes more of a demon, so he becomes more of a human as well, in that he's starting to find his own motivations and wants and desires beyond just beyond just following his dick sort of thing. I also like how they're doing the same with the other characters too. We're finding out so much more about Aki and his backstory. We find out about how his family was killed by the gun devil. We learn about these new characters and their motivations and the contracts they've formed. Like, this show has gone from being a silly over-the-top action anime in the first 3 episodes to now having a lot of soul and a lot of emotion. And I think that's really what this show sort of needed. I kept saying when we first reviewed this that I liked how they broke up the action with comedy, because animes either need to break the action with either comedy or with good story. But I think this show needs both. Because if it's just going to be over the top comedy the whole time, it's going to get tired. If all he cares about is boobs from the beginning to the end, it's going to get tired. So I'm really glad they're pushing these characters into emotional stories.
Yeah. So I also enjoy the different demons as well. So like every challenge that they're facing, obviously this demon, it wasn't like it just randomly shows up and it's just this all-powerful thing that they got to stop. Like, obviously they're trapped on the 8th level, and there's a reason why they're trapped in that 8th level, and there's a little bit of like mystery around it. Like, it wasn't just we're here, we need to just fight our way out. Like, there seems to be, there's more going for it rather than here's a problem, overcome it, which is
definitely
generally the standard in terms of, I guess, a lot of animes. It's like,
and it's more than just kill it.
Yeah,
with a lot of anime, that's the goal: kill the bad guy and win. Whereas we've got this devil in episode. Well, I finished episode 6, and we're about to get to the climax of that. And the whole, being trapped on the 8th floor and that whole psychological thriller is really cool. And not knowing, like, there's a bit of mystery to it. they've shifted genre a little bit in the last few episodes. I had a thought as well. Because these things are created from fear. They were saying how the gun devil didn't exist until, well, they made reference to 2001 Twin Towers. But does that mean, and I wonder if there is a devil who is formed from the fear of devils? That would be terrifying, because obviously the devil's probably almost like that gun devil killed 1.2 million people. Is there a devil? Is there a fear devil created by fear of devils? Cool as shit. I really like the lore.
All right, yeah, you've gone in depth in that one, haven't you? The old art house master.
It's not our house at all. It's just hypotheses.
I know. I just wanted to throw the dig in there.
I also like the attention to detail of all Japanese cars. And probably means nothing to you, but when you see car scenes, there's a scene where they're in the car park and there's like mid-2000s Silvias and there's modern like Suzuki Jimneys, and I really like the attention to detail and how the world feels rich and real, even though it's like a demon devil world at the same time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, cars mean nothing to me. I am not a car guy.
That's fair.
So if it gets me to point A to point B and it doesn't break down and it's fuel efficient, we're good to go.
Job done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying this. I'm super keen to watch more.
Oh yeah.
I'm probably going to watch more this afternoon.
It's definitely highly recommended. So I don't think we can give it a rating yet in terms of where we want to go with it. But it says season 1. I'm just looking at the episodes. The last episode comes out on the 27th of December for the season 1. So there's 12 episodes in season 1. I'm not sure if it's
we're getting there.
Yeah. I'm not sure if it's a short season or if they're going to run like half season batches or whatever they want to do.
Yeah, maybe.
Well,
but 12 isn't a, well, it's a shorter season for anime, but at least it's not like 8 or anything. I guess 12's okay.
Yeah. I don't know. Considering it's like one of the, I guess, the new top 3 in terms of the big sellers, then it's definitely going to get renewed.
Definitely.
And
it's great.
Looking at the ratings, I think the lowest rating episode is 8.1 on IMDb.
8.1?
Yeah, out of 10.
Oh, sure. I think you meant episode 8.1. I'm wondering what the fuck that meant.
No, so episode 2 is the lowest rated out of all of them.
Okay. Yeah. It probably, yeah. Sure.
I mean, they got a lot to set up, considering you've got the introduction and then you can't just go.
2's when we have the whole fight scene of them in the alley and the nut shots and stuff. I think that was brilliant.
It was good. It was good moments. Very funny.
Look, at the moment it's a 4.5. I'm having a great time with the show. There's not much I wish was different. I'm looking forward to see where it goes.
Yeah, definitely agree. Easy. So easy recommendation.
Yep.
But,
for sure.
Well, boy, do we have a big week for you guys in episode 19. So obviously it is coming up to Christmas. So we wanted to go with a little bit more of a Christmas theme for you coming in. We don't know if we're going to film before Christmas or after Christmas. So you might get a early release. You might get a later release, depending on how, unfortunately, our lives are going to unfold. But we're bringing you a Violent Night, which is the horror Santa Claus. And then you've got we're having a Grinch off, so we're going to try something new. So obviously Mr. Grinch, our co-host, he loves the original Grinch, so he also doesn't like Christmas. So we're going to watch the mean one, which is the Grinch horror Christmas film. We're going to watch the Jim Carrey Grinch, which is a live action Grinch, and we're going to watch Grinch the animated, which came out 2021, I think.
Sure.
I think it's been out. So we're going to see which one is the best Grinch, essentially, and we're going to try and persuade the other person which Grinch is the best.
I already know the answer to it, but sure.
You don't know. 2018. I was a bit off.
Sure. It's on binge. Okay. It was by elimination, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm also a big Dr. Zeus fan. fan in terms of I read the books to my kids, and I've read The Grinch a lot. Hopefully my co-host's heart will grow a number of sizes, because currently it's 3 sizes too small.
Sure. I mean, I love The Grinch, and I love Benedict Cumberbatch. So I'm actually interested to see him voice. He's a fucking amazing voice actor. So
have you not seen it?
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh wow.
The 2018 Grinch. I've not seen it. Cool. I have no reason to. The Jim Carrey's the perfect Grinch.
You'll see.
Yeah.
You're in.
I'm going with open mind though.
Good.
I am.
Good. Yeah, you're gonna love it.
Yep.
Yeah,
sure. So 3 Grinches and a murderous Santa. I think that's perfect.
I think that's a nice way to do it. But if you guys want us to watch anything, please put it in the Q&A section on Spotify or in the comments on YouTube for the Vodcast. And if you're watching the Vodcast, you can see I've got a little bit of product placement happening here. So you can see if you know anything about like a rep for Under Armour, just drop it in there. Be like, hey, I know these guys. They're really good. One's a bodybuilder and an athlete and really likes Under Armour.
The other one's getting chunkier and chunkier every week.
It's the holiday season. So we really want some Under Armour stuff.
Some Under Armour sponsorship.
or anybody.
I'll even wear Under Armour on stream if we get sponsorship.
Yeah.
I don't own a single piece of Under Armour clothing, but I will soon.
Yeah. I'm pretty much wearing, even my shorts are Under Armour. So I'm full kit. But, we're growing. We soon, if you guys want to sponsor us, let us know. We're happy to make up an ad on the spot. We can do a live reading of an ad. That'd be really funny. If you got a product, let us know. We will be in negotiations. But we're growing.
Legends incoming.
So we've got a live stream on Twitch. Check us out. Come and say good day if you want to see some chaos and me really annoying my mods in terms of. We've done a few community streams lately in terms of the mods have been playing with me, but it's really funny when they can't reply and I just get to go on ham with my jokes, and I think they're hilarious.
You sure do. You sure do.
Yeah, I do. I'm going to have heaps in there. But yeah, that's
the most important part.
That's live every Tuesday and Thursday, 7:45 Australian Central Standard Time.
And tell your friends.
Tell all your friends. Make their days better. Friends. I still had 5 minutes, so I was getting there. I was just rambling.
My apologies.
Yeah, I was going to get to your friends. It's
about getting antsy. That's like the most important part.
Yeah, make their day better. Do you know what would even be better? If you for a gift, you wrapped it up, wrote on a card, be like, hey, I know this fantastic podcast. I got this fantastic YouTube channel and Twitch stream. And you just wrote them down and be like, it's free. Everyone enjoys it, and it's a fantastic.
Everyone enjoys it.
Yeah.
Everyone who has watched it has given us good feedback.
Yeah, I haven't had bad feedback yet. Yeah. So keep it to yourself.
I've had bad feedback, but shut the hell up.
That's why. But yeah. Anyway, make all your dreams come true. Tell your friends.
Make all your dreams come true.
That's right. That's what we're doing.
Send off.
That's right. It's Christmas time. I'm in a good mood.
Believe it, you can do it.
That's right. Make sure your self-belief outrides the crowd's disbelief. We can keep going. You miss every shot you don't take. Yep. We're powerful beyond measure. How many quotes do you want?
Some people are born great. Some people achieve greatness. Some people have greatness thrusted upon them. What's that bullshit one?
Yeah, that's right. Oh you've even got with great power.
That's from fucking She's the Man, bro.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Have you seen Amanda Bynes'
speech at the end?
Wow.
What?
Amanda Bynes is like unrecognizable these days.
It's
crazy.
Just a whole different person.
But good on her. Yeah. As long as she's happy, tell her.
No shit.
Tell her friends. Tell anybody. Tell her about a podcast.
Where's her bad Christmas movie? Sure, that's coming out soon.
She hasn't been in a movie for a long time, has she?
No, that's very fair.
Was she the man her last one, I reckon?
No, God, no. She's done things since then.
Has she? When?
Then. She was in Easy A. That's way since before. After that.
When? No.
She's in Easy A. She's like she's the Christian the Christian like Bible basher chick, almost the bad girl. Like not the bad girl, but she's like the anti to our main character.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that was their last one, 2010. Was Easy A.
Was that last movie? Holy shit. There you go.
Crazy.
Bring back Amanda Bynes. Let's get a petition going.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, tell your friends, have a great day.
And with that tangent, tell your friends, love yous all. Goodbye.
Cheers.